welcome to her Playbook podcast, your go-to space of unfiltered, real-life conversation and stories of successful beauty queens in Uganda. My name is Chisache Rona, your host, and on the set today I have an amazing, I should say one of the most beautiful Miss Ugandas we've had. She defied the odds. You know, her story is very inspiring for us because when she went to Miss World, she defied the odds and brought back home some huge accolades. She'll be telling us more about that. She just launched a successful foundation. She'll be telling us more about that, and she'll be giving us her views since she's been in the pageant industry, what she thinks about the industry and what she's doing and what we can expect more from her. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome with me, Miss Uganda 2023, Hannah Karema.
I've been blushing the whole time we were talking about the most beautiful, successful. So I give the glory to God.
Thank you so much for honoring my invite. And it's so good to have you here. You're one of those Miss Ugandas that I feel like people underestimated you until you actually prove them that there is more to me than just the beautiful face that you see on the screens. And you went to Miss World and defied odds, and you did amazing, you know, beyond what people expected from you. So to me, I take that as successful because it's not every day that someone goes to Miss World and does amazing things.
I know when you say underestimated because I was really young. I had just finished my senior 6 and boom, I just went into pageantry. I didn't know much about it. All I had in my mind was I want to be Miss Uganda and I'm sure of my purpose. So I went without thinking of how the public is going to take it, how they're going to welcome me. I didn't really think of any of those things. So, and at some point, I'm glad that I still went for it because I got what I thought I would get out of it. Yeah.
So what was, in a nutshell, what was Hannah Karema doing before she even thought of
Miss Uganda?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Hannah Karema was just a baby, honestly. Besides that, I had a passion for modeling. So during my senior 5, senior 6, we had lockdown before. Actually, I think I just joined senior 5, so lockdown came in. So when lockdown came in and I came back home, I think that's when I realized my passion for modeling. So I went into a modeling agency and, started off my career like that. I didn't know how to walk in heels. I didn't know what modeling meant. I just wanted to be in Paris, honestly, walking on fashion shows, regardless of how I looked like. I didn't even know that I wasn't a good model by then. I just had the passion and I loved it. So I went for it. And after reaching there, that's how, my path was redirected now to pageantry.
To pageantry,
yeah, but before, getting to decide on, joining pageantry, I had to first go back to school, get done, and immediately I got done like this, I came into pageantry.
Okay. So when you woke up one day and said you wanted to join Miss Uganda, you made up your mind you wanted to join Miss Uganda.
Yeah.
How did your family, you were young, fresh from, I'd say, high school,
yes.
You were young. How did your family take it? What was there?
Surprisingly, I didn't tell my dad anything because I knew he was going to refuse me from going. I mean, he stays in the village, he's a cattle keeper, he's a farmer. Literally, he doesn't know anything about town and whatever happens around here. So for me, I just, I woke up one day and I'm like, I want to go for this. So I told my sisters and I'm like, you know what? I want to try out Miss Uganda. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I feel like this is my calling for now and I need to try it. They were like, oh, it's okay. If you want to go for it, go for it. We're here to support you. So at first I wanted to go for regionals because I was doubting myself so much. I didn't have that confidence. So I was like, I think I should go to regionals. And I was coming from Central. Yeah. So I had to travel from Kampala to Masaka.
Oh, God.
And then I had my mentor, Joram, the man I met when I had started my modeling career. He was like, no, Hannah, don't go to Masaka. You're worth Kampala. Wait for final Kampala pre-selections and then you can go there. And I'm like, okay, let me wait. So I wait. Kampala pre-selections reach, I go. And thank God I go through. And I'm like, should I tell my dad? And my dad says, no, wait to tell him. And I'm like, okay. So we do that. There are some 2 challenges that we do. And then they decide the top 20 contestants that go into boot camp. So I kept my family and some of my friends onto the journey whenever I would pass this challenge, and I'm like, guys, I made it. I'm so happy. And it would always be like so hard because so many people would leave crying, and you're like, oh God, who am I to stay behind? Let me keep pushing. So I think after they finalized and they were like, now these are the 21s who are going, to boot camp, and now they're going to unveil us to the public. So I was like, now, if my dad sees me on Makula TV and I have not yet told him, it's going to be another issue. So I called my dad. I'm like, you know what, Dad? This and this and this is happening. And he's like, bichevyo Makula. I didn't know nothing about it, honestly. So I started to explain to him, and I remember one day before, I came to Kampala, we were watching news, and I think Queen Abenacho had met the president. So I was with him, and then I told him, I think I can go for that, and he was like, "Wow, that's what he told me." So I reminded him, and I'm like, "You remember that girl I showed you?" So when I told him the girl, I think what came into his mind was, the president. I was like, okay, so what do they do? And I'm like, they do this. Once you have a purpose, or be doing the purpose, this is what you do. You serve your community, you serve your country, and when you make it, you go to Miss World. Miss World, you meet so many. I tried to explain to him, and he understood. I was like, oh, it's okay, I'm gonna support you. So he gave me his blessings, and I'm like, let me just go for it.
Okay. So you go through the auditions, and now it's time for camp. Now you're coming to boot camp, fresh from school, you're very young. You're going to meet girls who are way older than you.
Most of them were.
So what were your expectations coming into national boot camp, or what were you expecting to find? Did you, at the back of your mind, did you think that you could actually win Miss Uganda? You were like, maybe let me just go and see the experience.
Yeah, one thing I'm really sure of, is I have faith. I don't know if it is good or bad, but I believed so much in myself to a point that even when I was going to Miss World, I somehow believed I would get that blue crown, but things went otherwise. But then at the back of my mind, and I'm like, everyone who has won Miss Uganda has been 23 and above. And these girls are always done with campus, and some of them have graduated, or others are waiting to, graduate. And I also remember when I went to Mama, Miss B, with my application form, and she saw 19 because we picked them in December before I had made 20. And she saw 19 and she's like, hey, you're 19 years old. And I'm like, yes. I saw her, with that kind of, she tried to... But I was like, anyway, let me go. I reached in boot camp. These girls are experienced. Most of them know how to walk. They know how to, hold a conversation and all that. And me, I was just new. I was starting the journey of getting to know myself. So basically, during boot camp, that was the time for me to know myself and to discover myself more. And I'm glad that I also, got to that crown.
Okay. So after camp, you go to grand finale,
Yes.
The show starts, they read top 10, top 5. So when you got to top 5, did it now click to you like, I could actually win this?
Oh, okay. Now let me tell you. So towards the event, most of us were so depressed because... we were so scared, oh my God, because now it's coming towards the end and you don't know whether you're going to win or you're going to lose. Your family has been very supportive and you're like, oh my God, I'm going to disappoint these people. And everyone is like, I am going to win this. Literally everyone wanted that crown. So at some point it would be so selfish of you to think that this is meant for me. Because I would see so many people who were capable. So the day before crowning, when we went for rehearsals, our trainer told us, just enjoy the moment, live in the moment. This is the first and last time you're coming for Miss Uganda, and this is something you're going to show to your children. So enjoy the moment, have fun, enjoy yourself on stage. Don't be timid. Don't, the nerves are going to come, but try to, control them. So by the time I stepped on stage, I knew that I'm here to enjoy. Whether I win or I don't win, it's up to, that's fate.
That's fate,
So I reached on stage when we were still 21. I was just enjoying myself. 15, I think it was 21 to 10. 10, I was still enjoying myself. now 5. I'm like, 5. So they told us to go backstage. So when I went backstage, everyone has their threats. You're like, this one. So when I went backstage, I saw like 3 of my threats were out already. And I'm like, so I looked around and I'm like, now who is there? Prima was like my number 1 threat. And I'm like, now the only person I'm scared of right now is Prima. Right now. Because the 3 had left. And plus me, that makes it 5. So the rest, I was like, this one, let's go. Let's go compete and see who, is going to win. So we go back on stage. The person I really didn't see coming was Whitney. She shocked me so much because she did so well on stage. And looks like she was undercover in boot camp. Like she was waiting to shock everyone, and she comes out and she's like, you guys were not seeing me, but I'm here. So we go back on stage. When we go back on stage, they ask us the first question. The second question, I think that's when they were like, they tried to decide, and then they took us backstage, and then they brought us back and asked us the same question again. Now that's where the nerves came on hard, because everyone thought, they've concluded and everything, and they're like, let's have the girls back. Now, at some point, I got the hope, and then when they said, let them come back, I lost it completely, and I'm like, this one, let me just chill. So, yeah.
So they read your name. Miss Uganda 2023 is Hannah Karema. Can you describe what was running into your mind at that time? Can you even remember?
First and foremost, I thought it was a dream because the lights went off when they were trying to read the winner. So I was like, probably I'm just having another dream of, fantasizing about the crown. And then when the lights came back on, I'm like, actually, it's reality.
It's real.
And now I thought about my dad because he had told me, I am going to watch until the show ends. I'm like, so did my dad just see me winning? And I had so many emotions. I was seeing my family in the audience crying. I had so many people in Ordinary. All of them were crying, literally. I wasn't even going to cry that much, but I saw so many people that had come to support me, and everyone was crying, and I had not disappointed any. Oh my God, I'm so grateful of that moment, and I thank God.
Now, a 19-year-old.
Now
20-year-old, you win Miss Uganda. Your life takes a total turn. Right now you are a public figure. Everyone is going to be looking at you. It wasn't something that you had thought about before your normal life. And how was that transition? Now you have management, you have people that you have to answer to. You can't just wake up in the morning and go where you want to go. How was that transition for you?
No, that's something they never teach you. Okay, they try to teach you and you think you've mastered the art, and then after winning and out of the blue you're a public figure, you just don't know how to handle it. And for some reason it's going to stress you to the core. And I think this is one of the most challenges that I faced. Because me, I thought probably I'm just Miss Uganda, but my life is going to stay the same. I can go outside and buy some cassava. But after crowning, those 2 days, we were still in boot camp with Mama. And I tried to move on, and she's like, Hannah, no, let this one go. And I'm like, why? It's like, Hannah, you're missing out. Like, me and Mama kept on, having, because I had not yet understood that I'm now Miss Uganda, and now live this of going out and, buying stuff. I went on social media, and it was fire. People saying different stuff. Now that stressed me. I kind of got depressed a bit. I remember I was crowned when I'm a bit, big, but I lost weight in like 2 days because of social media trolls, because of that transition. I literally wasn't ready for it. The lights, going to events every day, having people to manage your stuff, and you can't have your time to.
Like your life wasn't your life.
Yeah, I felt like I was being punished, but then later I settled in and got used and started serving my purpose.
And so moving on, your journey to Miss World, how were the preparations like? Do you feel like you had the support that you would have wanted going into Miss World, in all the aspects that you needed to prepare yourself for Miss World?
Honestly, I'm glad that I had the support. For me, I think I had full support because I didn't put any of, my money to book a ticket or buy dresses, or like I had several designers come out for me. Literally every designer gave me like 2 to 3 pieces. Uganda Airlines sponsored my travel to and fro.
Oh, wow.
What else? Yeah, I think my family supported me. One thing, a weakness that Uganda still has is that people they come on board later on when it's like 2 to 3 days to crowning.
Yeah.
Before you reach that far, everyone is doubting whether you're going to make it.
Yeah.
Instead of these people supporting you because you're coming from their country, and when you're there, you're not Hannah Karema.
Yeah, you're Uganda. Yeah, true.
But I feel like for some reason, Ugandans don't get it. Everyone is, instead of, giving you hope and motivating you, they're just trolling you. You went for a tour. I used to see comments like, "Oloyagenda kulambula." And honestly, you just have to be grounded and strong and, spiritually strong for you not to be taken off by the comments. Because at some point, you'd be like, yeah, man, give fat. And you just sleep. But I'm glad I had people that kept on motivating me every day. My family, some of my friends, Miss Brenda should always be on my neck. Because I reached a time and lost it. I think in the third week, I actually lost it completely. There's so many girls that lost it. They call us for breakfast and everyone stays in the room sleeping because they've not seen themselves winning anything. Little did I know that my victory was coming that third week. So Mama told me, no, Hannah, keep pushing. Jerome kept on calling me, Hannah, keep pushing. My family, don't lose hope, go. And then on this side, I would go on social media to post and update my people, and people are like, wagenda club. So, man, it was so hard. But I thank God that I eventually, came up. And now the support, I got it on finale.
Yeah.
And also finale, the day after and the day I returned. And I'm like, if these people
had supported,
give me this support that they've brought on the last day, maybe I would even make it to Miss World Africa because it was like an inch.
Yeah, I remember. So, getting to the day of the grand finale of Miss World, you go and then they read your name. I remember when we first saw, I think when they announced that Uganda was among Beauty with a Purpose finalists, then we had Beauty with a Purpose winner. I think that is when Uganda, they're like, actually,
Uganda is there.
Uganda is actually there, And for you in that moment, were you like, this is enough for me? I don't know what else will come.
Let me tell you, honestly speaking, what was enough for me was being among the top 10 finalists of Beauty with a Purpose. I felt like that was enough. Even if I don't win, being the overall winner, I didn't mind. Because there is so many people that didn't even make it to top 40. So many people were unplaced. People were depressed. And I was like, honestly, at least my name is mentioned somewhere. Singers of Miss World, never younger, no one has talked about my name or nothing. So I was like, God, thank you for this. Little did I know I'm going to win the overall title. Also, I go up to top 8. So man, it was a miracle.
You defied the odds, I must say. So you come back to Uganda. What was the perception? When you stepped on the airport and there were all these people at the airport that came to see you, did it take you aback a bit to say, maybe I hope all these people were here when I was boarding this plane to go to India?
Exactly my point. Because when I was going to the airport, honestly, it was me, my sisters, and Miss Uganda family. When I was coming back, I saw a huge number of people. I didn't even expect it. Like, I saw media, I saw so many people, I saw border borders, there were so many, and I'm like, God, I wish these people came from the start. I wish these people walked with me throughout the journey. But anyway, that's life.
That's life. Yeah, true.
People always come through for you when you win. You don't even know who's genuinely happy for you. You don't know who is, trying to fake around. So.
So, what can you say it changed about you as Hannah, or things you got to discover about yourself as Hannah, having been in this in the beauty pageant space, held the national title, did well at Miss World? What are things you actually didn't know that Hannah could do?
First and foremost, externally, I didn't ever think I would handle negativity. I didn't think I would ever handle pressure. I didn't ever think I would handle criticism. But for some reason, I get so shocked that people say stuff about me and I don't even mind to go and reply or respond. And I feel like if I didn't ever be this person and someone wrote just a message of, I don't like you, I would write like a whole paragraph explaining myself how I don't care, how I don't... But I find myself, just minding my business and keeping quiet. And internally, I feel like I developed... I got to find my purpose, what, I serve now, where, I came up with the Hannah Karema Foundation. I got to know what my calling was. I found what my passion is, that's pageantry, and I'm using it to, impact the community positively. So I'm glad for that.
Taking us, before we get into your foundation, you get to hand over your crown to the next queen.
Yeah.
How was the transition like now into your to your now space, to your normal life now? Was it like, finally, I can now be Hannah without having a call in the morning and say, Hannah, this is your schedule, this is what you have to do, you have to be here, you have to be here?
Oh, that's the most beautiful part of it. But all I can say, I don't think I went back to my normal life. Yeah. Even up to now, for some reason, I still feel like the attention is kind of there.
Yeah.
It doesn't fully go back because now once you're introduced into the public eye, it's not that easy that people forget you that easily, or like you're going to pass around and someone is going to pretend like they forgot you, yet they've been seeing you around. So for, going back to my normal life, I don't think I've gone back to that normal life again. But I'm okay where I am. And also I think the pressure, it's not there anymore. I don't, wake up to a call of, you have this and this and this on your timetable. We have to go here. We have to, because I would literally travel every day across the whole of Uganda. There's no way I've not gone. But now I can sit down and plan my schedule according to how I feel like, and do my things how I feel like I can do them when I'm mentally ready, physically ready, emotionally. So I think that now I'm grounded. I do what I feel like I need to do at that particular time, and I don't have that pressure. But for me, going back to my normal life, I don't think that. Maybe we should call this the new normal.
The new normal.
Yes.
So one thing that beauty queens struggle with is, there's a way organizations or pageants brand us, to a level that, you're a public eye, the way they dress you, the way you do your makeup, like every time you show up, you
glamour.
are your...
Yes,
it's perfect,
princess, just landed from heaven.
So when you hand over the crown, I don't know if you had that struggle, but beauty queens struggle with now keeping up with that image that people had of you. And then sometimes you are not able to afford it, simply because maybe some come from a humble background, but because, you entered into this space and you were elevated to that point. Is it something that you have struggled with? Or if not, how have you managed to still uphold the brand? Because when you get to an event, cameras will still follow you as Hannah.
I would say, not to brag, but I'm honestly favored. I think I've got myself... most of the designers are now like family to me, and I don't really struggle that much to be like, okay, I need this dress, I haven't got this hair. Like, I literally still get my things together up to now. So I can't really say that it has been so hard for me to transition. Now I'm in my dark corner, I'm depressed. No. Yeah, and I thank God for that.
That's really beautiful. So you mentioned something that you're passionate about, that is impacting community. Forming Hannah Karema Foundation. Yes. What was that push when you looked at Uganda as a country and what was lacking? What made you think about empowering young women in that aspect? What was your drive?
I don't think it was really looking into Uganda and see what's lacking and what's not there for me to put what is lacking. I think to so many people that followed my story and all that know that I've been a passion advocate against early childhood marriages and teenage pregnancies, because that's where I come from. That's my story, and someone who survived that. I felt like that was my calling to try and preach against this behavior that is done not because some parents want it, but because that's the culture. Those are the customs and the norms. So I felt like this was my calling, and what I would do besides that was to advocate advocate for education and, skills and talent development. And that's how I came up with the Hannah Karema Foundation. So I could continue doing my work that I was doing as Miss Uganda, but in the Hannah Karema Foundation. Yes.
Okay, very nice. So you just launched your foundation. How has it been like? The few places that you have so far visited and impacted women, how has the experience been?
Honestly, I love CSR activity. Not because I want to, go and spend time or show people that I love helping people, but this is something that I do, and it takes me back to where I came from. Because when I reach into these women who stay in the village, I just remember how I was before. So sometimes I do it because I want to keep myself reminded of where I come from and how far I've fought to be where I am today, and also to, see that someone has hope. Maybe me, I had hope of my parents, but there is someone who was there and they didn't have hope, and now they're married, they have children. But now someone has a hope of me simply because my dad educated me and brought me this far. Maybe when you see someone who was hopeless and now they're hopeful because they've seen you come through for them, it's indeed such a blessing. It's something that's very calming when you know that what you were going to face, you're not going to face it because there is someone willing to give you a helping hand. So I've been looking forward to, do my CSR activities. Though, funds, because it's not really that easy. But with a little you have,
you're able
you
to
do what you can do.
Okay. If looking at a young girl out there who wants to join pageantry, basing on your experience, what advice or tips would you give them?
I tend to, try to dodge that part so much because for me, I believe that people are different and we handle things differently. And for me, maybe I don't have the luck that you're going to have in the future. And I wouldn't say don't come because you might come and things be good for you. And I might say you come and then you come and things turn out to be bad for you. And if you had brought us here together, like all the pageant girls all over the world, you'd hear different stories. Not everyone has a successful story. Some of them are like, I regret. I hope I knew earlier I wouldn't have come for this. So all I can say is pray about it. Pray to God. If you really want it and you feel like this is your passion, come for it. But be open-minded. You never know what you're going to find. You never know how beautiful it's going to be or hard it's going to be. So just pray about it and, God can give you a clear direction of how to go about it.
The second last question. You are someone that... basing on your story before, you're someone that was almost married off, so you firsthand know how it feels to almost be part of early child marriage.
It's
and
traumatizing.
It's something that I don't think you'd want to wish to anyone. Do you think that story has kind of built you? It's a story that you feel like it's who Hannah is. It portrays someone that has defied so many odds to reach where she is.
At some point, because when I was growing up, it didn't make sense to me. I think maybe because I was a child and all that. So my aim was really to just study and go back home and, my father paying tuition and all that. Not until I grew older. And I'm like, okay, so if I had stayed in the village, I would be a mother of something like five children.
Yeah, true.
Maybe in a home that is not well off. Because of, poor planning, and I'm not going to say a parent who doesn't care, but maybe that's what they believe in, that if a girl is, 15 years and above, they're ready for marriage. But I'm glad I had a father, who had a different mindset compared to the other people. And now, I'm like, okay, so if I was in the village, I wouldn't be here where I am today. So I am here today because I escaped that. And probably there is someone out there who is there because there's so many children that I started with and their mothers. I always go and check up on them and all that. But I feel like that has built me, it had made me strong. It has given me purpose to, fight for that. Though it's very hard because that's culture. But, some people have started to go, changing their mindset about it. And now you see so many girls from where I come from studying. I meet so many of them here in Kampala. And you find some of them don't even want to acknowledge they come from the village. And they're like, oh, I see you. So I'm glad.
So when you went back for your homecoming, sorry to take you back.
Yes.
When you went back for your homecoming, how was the reception?
Oh, God.
When people got to see you, and I think you got to look at all these people in the village, when they were looking at you, how was that feeling?
You guys, you see that I've never seen a huge crowd of people like the one I saw when I went back home. But obviously, not most of them came because they were happy. Some of them wanted to come and confirm. Is she really Mzee Karema's child? Is she the one? Is she the one we raised? Like, some of them just wanted to come and confirm if it's really me. Because it was a rumor, apparently. This girl has won what. So most of them just wanted to come and see Miss Uganda. Now, Miss Uganda from Nakasiki, of which most of them thought it would never come true because they watch TV a lot and, all that. But not all of them thought I would win. So when I won, it was a shock.
Yeah.
So some of them were happy for me. Others wanted to come and see how I look like because some of them didn't know me.
Yeah.
So people were so many. Yeah.
Okay. Hannah, what are you up to now?
I'm up to my foundation now, trying to do the work that is into my foundation. That's talent and skills development, doing charity, doing community service activities. And also I'm in school. I went back to school because I came for the crown when I was way too young. So I went back to school, though it's a bit hard. Yes. And okay, now here my advice comes in. I would advise so many of you who want to come for the crown, first study before you come for this thing, because it's not easy. So that's what I do. And also I do a bit of influencing here and there.
Okay. Which people can you say have been a very instrumental, that played an instrumental role in your in your career in pageantry? People you feel like you don't even know where they developed this love to support you, but they have actually walked this journey with you and have seen you grow into this amazing person right now.
Honestly, sorry. So many people have supported me. If I start to, break names, I think it's going to be a lot. But all I can say is family has been there from day one. When I say family, I don't mean biological. There's some people that came into my life, became friends, and they were well-wishers, and now they became family because they supported me throughout the whole of my journey. And also my mentor, Joram, he has done so much for me to be here. Yes, because he saw me when I was barely 18. I think I was 17. And also Miss B for giving me the platform to, be Miss Uganda and also go ahead and be Miss World. I've worked with so many people. I've worked with Richer Hand. I've worked with Wells of Life. I've worked with Sawuti Media. God, so many. The designers. Oh God, my lifesavers. So many of them. The makeup artists, the hairdressers. Bunch. And the public. Oh my God, people have loved me, others have hated me, but I'm so glad and grateful to you all. Yes.
Okay. One last question. If you could give just one piece of advice to the Hannah Karema of 2023, 18, fresh from school, and the Hannah now
of 20, when I just got it done with senior, the advice I would give myself, but then I think it's the advice I took to go for whatever you want, as long as you've prayed about it, you've confirmed it in your heart that you want it, always go for that. But pray for it, meditate about it, and make sure that's the path you want to take. Yes, because I did go for it at 18.
Okay.
So I would still give myself that very advice.
Yeah. Okay. maybe one last question is to remind our viewers. When you went to Miss World, you came back with 2 titles. Maybe just to elaborate what these titles really mean.
I came back with a winner, Beauty with a Purpose. I had the most, should I say, captivating, amazing, beautiful project. Project that's like purpose. What you do, what you've been doing in your countries through serving the community. Maybe some people call it your calling, spiritually, kinda. So I won that, the Beauty with a Purpose, and I also won the Miss World Africa first runners up. We were only two people overall. And yeah, those are my 2 titles.
Okay, thank you so much.
I almost got the blue
I
crown.
know you almost. No, but
I'm glad someone is gonna get it.
I should say you defied odds. Yeah, you did. You defied odds, and
grateful.
For a young person to step into a space like that and actually succeed, and coming from a small country like Uganda, which is not so huge at international stage, it's we felt proud, like when you'd see Uganda name being called out. It
because
was
I would
really
also
touching.
be in front there and look behind and see big countries, and I'm like,
you see Venezuela, Philippines, and you're like, how did I beat these guys?
Thank God.
Yeah. So it was really a proud moment, not only for you, but for all of us. And we couldn't be more happier having you here. And we can't wait to see where the Hannah Karema Foundation goes.
Hannah Karema as a person.
Yeah, and Hannah Karema as a person, we know that you have so many things in store that you'll do. And we just want to wish you success.
Thank you.
We'll be waiting for the graduation.
Oh, you guys have started demanding me.
So that you can finally complete the beauty books and purpose all in
beauty
one with brains. Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah, so thank you so much for coming through and chatting with us. Viewers, thank you so much for tuning in to this amazing episode. And I'll leave you with 2 cents as always. The crown may be temporary, but the impact lasts a lifetime. Thank you for tuning in, and see you in the next episode.
Oh, that is nice. The crown may be temporary,
but the impact lasts a lifetime.
That's beautiful.